our supporters and listeners. Thank you for tuning in to another live segment here. Reactionary commentary, relatable topics and quotes here with your very own favorite author podcaster, Miss Tetasheri, with me. We don't just come on here to talk. We call these insightful, relatable topics because usually we all walk away with even a broader perspective about a variety of different topics. So if you're into listening to that type of content, you might find yourself hitting that golden subscribe bell and make sure you subscribe here before 2026 even goes any further, okay? Happy New Year, happy Valentine, all that good stuff to our subscribers and to the world out here today. Hit that like button, okay? And once again, in the description of this live segment, if you would like information where you can send inquiries, questions, or suggestions, you can find that email in the description section. Okay, guys? It's always been there too. No harassment is better than than some, I guess, but people may have different questions about just different things we may showcase or put on. I have that promoter side of me too. So we do events. We visit events. I probably visit events a lot less than I used to, cause I do be on YouTube probably. I wasn't even trying to say that, but you can still sponsor different if you're not putting on your own programs and uh, whatever you're doing. There's always other people that are investing into those type of things. It's an interesting time actually to be alive, be a great spokesman on some of these topics as my own self. Self advocate first, but then I do kind of advocate for other things on the side. What advocate means to pretty much highly support something, whether it's the environment, recycling, health and wellness, whatever it is that you firmly believe in. So some people they don't just believe in it; they go out. That's why we've been seeing protests here, there, left and right lately. It's not just I think people trying to rebel and things like that all the time. They already came from a place of belief, of perception, of being used to things being a certain way for so long. I think we can all end up guilty of that at some points in our life. Sometimes they say routines and you know knowing what to expect is better than not, but everybody does not believe in it. And I'm gonna even be honest, walking by faith people like to mock that and clown that because really, you don't have to know what's going on the other side all the time. You're walking by faith. That's the whole point of it. Believing what we might not always tangibly see all the time or know all the time. You see, there's so much glorification in what we want to know and see so we know it's true and all of that. But some people really do live and walk by faith. I mean, I didn't mean for this topic to be about it, but that's a whole point too where yes, the quote, the blind leading the blind is real, but faith is taught like you're encouraged to walk blind. Let your only sight be God if you need to, and trust Him fully with your whole heart. It sounds scary to people. It sounds cultish, religious, whatever they want to call it. But it's not easy for everybody to do. Not even some of the people in the Bible had. It took a while for their faith to be strengthened and produced about how to. If you try the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and it's not working, what is it? What do you? I'm asking y'all. What do you tell me? Soon as somebody walking on faith, oh my God, they doing something different. Everybody's scared. You see what I'm saying? But you claim you want to change through all these things. Like, are we doing repetitious? If it's not working, you need to sit down, even if it take you longer. Like, look, these are all the efforts we have tried, experimented with, tried. People like scared to get to that point. You can get to that point and then say, well, I didn't try this over here. I didn't try not knowing everything, not seeing everything, not having. Because why would people want to know and see everything? They call it knowledge, but I think knowledge itself can be abused. It's a lot of things with universal justice that probably agree with us as mankind if we gave it a chance. Yes, lots of things can be abused, not just people and animals. Different actual things like verbs and nouns can be abused. Have anybody ever thought about that? People abuse lies. They abuse the truth. And I know you say, how can you abuse a lie? You can abuse a lie. A lie is already bad, ain't it? Okay, then abuse the truth. They'll say that's worse. We got to be more open minded and not saying people have not been, guys. I do give, I could talk about a lot of different countries and how far they've come over history, literally. Like when it just comes to how they are now, how they function, cultural society, how everything works. In some countries, the way they're moving and carrying on now, people never thought it would be like that. I'm telling you, it's a big difference. It's called modern day era. That don't mean everything is perfect overnight, but we can at least look back and see what people have tried over and over and over. We ain't saying everything didn't work. Did things get better? People like to erase progression. Are things trying to get better? You got a problem when those two questions can be and there's no progress, right? For any sex, for any whatever it is advancing out here. Everything that's advancing, where's the progress? Where's the statistics of strong, bold progress and success stories? That's all I was asking a long time ago. I didn't say they didn't exist. When I say a long time ago, let me clarify. I have not been podcasting, vlogging, blogging, speaking more publicly like this all my life. But I have been known, like I said, that promoter side has always been in me, helping to push events or promote events or just advocate. It's like sales and advertising. I just always been good at it. Really. If I'm trying to sell something the first 10 times, it might not sell. I can tell you of all people all about it. The first 10 times. A real true business it teaches you patience too. It teaches you patience. Money is not bad for everybody. But see, there's those things that surround those areas, those pockets that surround money that you also have to be wise and knowledgeable about too. But yes, knowledge can be abused. That ain't even a person, is it? I guess it's considered a thing. It's not a person, it's not a place, unless you're talking about a state of mind. But knowledge can be abused. That means you obtain it. We get that part. We check that square. So you got the knowledge. You think God ain't looked at that a long time ago? Like, what do people do with? Come on, man. What do people do with with knowledge? Yes, we perish without it, but people still find creepy ways to come in and like, well, it says we perish without it. That doesn't mean just go abuse. I'm just giving a new perception about this. That's all. I'm just one voice. So you gonna go exploit the knowledge? It's some reason things are classified. I'm pretty sure they're classified files. They're classified documents. However you describe it. Now I'm not an expert at this knowledge, but I know a little bit. That stuff is like that for a reason. People probably can't always handle like they be like, I want the truth, I want the truth. And they want to rush to it and scurry their feet. But the intent of anything we do is what matters at the end of the day. That's how I live my life. The intent of what the intent, and I ain't gonna say it no more, of all of our choices, once we become fully aware, age that we're fully aware of our choices, the intent, not just what I see you doing, because that gives cameras that kind of power, but the intent. Like you can just see a viral video of two people arguing and fighting. You wasn't there. You don't know what happened. You just seeing the clips of by the time it got to the fight. You didn't see an hour, a week before. or after the fight. You just saw a clip on the internet. You see what I'm saying? A little, that's how you feel like you know the whole story. That's stupid anyway. I'm not mocking nobody. I'm just like, come on, man. You don't know the whole story seeing clips and shorts of people. Stop playing, bro. Mm-mm. That didn't make sense to begin with. That just shows that cameras themselves too can be abused. I said there's things that can be abused, not just people and living organisms. The universe might agree with us with a whole lot more if we gave it a chance. This is not trying to get people to turn spiritual or religious, but if we're going to talk about the greatness of knowledge, well, let's talk about where people be abusing it at. Stop it. Now, I wonder they classify and keep certain things secret. Now, I'm not saying that's okay all the time, but I do see why that has already, whatever scholars back in the day said this probably needed to be done. We see why. Everybody's not gonna do right with knowing everything, knowing who name and who birthday is everywhere. And they can get mad at me for saying it, but what is what has been shown? Now ain't nothing wrong with the internet. I just think after so long they probably gonna have so many regulations and rules to protect people. You know, like the internet just won't be the same after so long. I can already see that coming. It'll still be existent in my opinion. This is just my strong prediction and opinion, y'all. But like I feel like it will be a lot more regulation going on and people being aware that these regulations are going on and more stipulations to even have these accounts and use them because not because of people, but because of one thing being abused above all. And that's excuse me, y'all, that's knowledge. It's not for everybody. We know this to go around, even if you know it. How are you handling it? You see, but everybody want it. That's power, ain't it? They said knowledge is power, right? That's power, buddy. You ain't gotta have no money. You ain't gotta have nothing else. You got you what? You sitting on some knowledge? Oh, oh, okay. But how does that person handle it too? They just be like, I know what he know, I know what she know. Oh, okay. Now, the only thing you have left, well, how are they both? We both got that part. They both know. Now, how do they handle information, right? Misuse of information is a whole, this is just amazing, crazy right now. I was just like, as one of the people in society today living to witness all of this, uh, it is interesting. Like maybe you're not used to seeing it. Like people, certain cases being so severe or whatever, people do not want they uh I can't say they business, but they like, hey, scratch my name out of it. I ain't talking about the perpetrators, but some of these survivors and victims. That is something. I don't know what my baby was watching, but the baby doll was coughing. I'm glad she turned it. People gonna think that's my baby. We are blessed. Nobody's sick over here. Nobody, we don't have no flus, colds. Thank you, God. Cause see, people would just look at, oh, the times you were sick or what. Come on, man. Even on jobs, they count the days of safety. They check that on the calendar. Some jobs that are serious about work safety, we check the days. That definitely matters. They'll say we had 285 days over 365 year of no accidents, and we actually would celebrate about it. The more days, the better. That's just tangible proof that you actually are, what did I say, doing positive things with that knowledge. It's another example. Like every day that none of our co-workers, employees, staff get hurt or injured on the job. Now, you're going to see these kind of charts in industrial type work, a lot of construction. They try to keep those too. I think reward systems are great, actually. Like, it's always seemed to be a positive thing. It makes people strive and want more in life. Like, rewards and awards, they actually do exist. Let's take a great look at it. Not just malice and embarrassment and humiliation. That'll never take over the world. that would mean reward and award systems have to disappear. I don't know. It seems to just all be linked. Another, it all goes back to one thing. But I feel like, yeah, these survivors and victims, yeah, I mean, they deserve to be heard if they don't want, they already can, certain things is bigger than them and out of their hands. If the story's leaked and everybody's names is floating around everywhere, I mean, it's just really crazy. But then we have to be able to understand just because you were victimized or something does not mean you want people following you, asking you questions all the time. That's stupid anyway. Like, oh my God, you were in the files. Can I get a few questions with you? That's what they're saying. I guess they do not want to deal with. I can advocate for that. Like, not just because I'm a woman, because not all the victims were women, as we know, allegedly. This is a little more than allegedly. All kind of files and different things are being leaked everywhere. Leaked, if you want to call them. The people have been asking for this all over. It was just like, leak the files, release them. Okay. And you didn't expect those that were hurt, victimized, lost years of their lives to not want to. Some of them, there are plenty of people out there, what I'm trying to say, that probably don't mind sharing their stories uh and some of them are already out there doing it. Let's be honest. They don't have to call themselves inspirationalists, motivation, none. They are being invited on shows already and panels to share their story willingly. The crazy part is we're not finna start trying to force people what to do. Like, yeah, what are you going through? What happened? And put them all out there and yeah, you need to tell your side. What you mean? This thing right here is saying they could have over 3,000 victims, bro. So you gonna follow them all around. Let me give a better example. The Titanic. To this day, we probably would never know every victim story that was on that boat. Let's be honest. You see, they did get a lot of stories. They did get a lot of stories because see, it was survivors with the Titanic. There was whole survivors for years, but those survivors are probably a part of the truth of why we know we did not get everybody's story about the Titanic to this day. We just mostly know what happened because of the evidence that was left over. Let's be honest, and the few survivors that were willing to talk, because I bet they didn't even get to talk to all of the survivors. I bet you they didn't. They didn't sit there and get the hound down, run down news stories on everybody that survived the Titanic. This person just, if people find out, they were now famous in their own way. Because now people want your story. You was a survivor of the Titanic. They're going to just want to follow you around, man. And like, just see what you're doing today, try to get you to talk on channels, couches. Some people are willing to do that. There's no reason to not be able to give privacy when people ask for it, especially if they're involved with this type of stuff and they were on the victim side, survivor side of stuff. Well, I guess victim and survivor is two different things. Now that I think about it, but I just want to say survivors to be respectful as well as I give my commentary and reaction to this viral news right now. So I feel like they have a right to. I've been saying that for years. What make people think because somebody got abused, they got to walk around for the rest of their tips? I don't mean to sound rude. Logically think about this. They got to walk around and forever, even if they heal, even if it's baggage, even if they still have nightmares about it, they might not want to walk around spending the last living years of their life talking about one or two abuses here and there in their life. Everybody is not like that. Period. Facts. They might say, I only live once. I'm not finna sit here and talk about this forever. Not even on ABC News. Nowhere. Some people are like that. I'm sorry. Media might be powerful, but how you gonna just start for it? Okay, because without that person's testament or spoken word or survivor of the Titanic or survivor of the Epstein file, if they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to talk about it. That's a story you didn't fully get. Go dig up what you need to. Did you get to talk to that person? That's the question. The survivor, the witness. And then if they try to tell you, I don't want to talk about it. I ain't talking about to the Department of Justice and people like that. Like I said, that part they can't even probably fully control. They already dealing with that part. Then you want them to survive this, like, hey, come talk to us. It's never been that easy. People don't want to talk about that. What made you think they gonna? Some will. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say myself, did I? I'm making a point about life when it comes to this TV stuff and everybody wanting to get the latest story from who. I bet you still can't. You got to be very gifted to talk to some people because they done told everybody no. They decline comments. They decline. They don't want to talk to nobody. See, people say, oh, because that's why I try not to jump to conclusions with some of these stories. Just because a person decline comments and don't want to talk about something, that don't mean they're guilty of anything. Not with all these cases and stories. Sometimes we end up finding out later what happened. That person just didn't like to talk on interviews and talk about their because to me, if it was truly abuse, like why would a person want to sit there and talk about that over and over and over? Even if they heal from it, even if they moved on from it, and they like, oh, this don't bother me anymore. They don't have to sit there and repeat memories like that over and over and over for people's entertainment. That's crazy. Now, some would say staying 100% quiet about some of these things is not helping it's not quiet anymore once that part of it is exposed. I wonder, do people see that? Like, now it's just who was it, who and who. That's all the people are concerned about. And then when they're youth and minors and victims, you definitely got to respect that because they can't control pretty much 90% of what's going on with them and they youth. Like, you're a whole kid. You have a future, a life to live in the future as an adult, as a citizen somewhere in some community in your own life one day, whether it's in college or you grow older, you move out, you're going to be living on your own one day. And see, living on your own is not an easy task, but that's another topic. That's another topic. But yes, some of our minors today have to do the same thing in the future. They have to live on their own. It's nothing wrong with that. They grow up and they have to live their lives. So yes, their identities and the things that they're experiencing as youth is not everybody's business. It could be your business, but it tells a lot of the story years later too in people's lives. That's what I'm saying. Is this starting to become a reason? People knowing their story, they can't get a job, they can't get this, they can't get that. They done grew up. They trying to move on with their life. You feel me? Like, why I can't get this or that or approved for this or that or what's going on? Oh, it's files out there all over the internet with your name. You wasn't even a predator or abuser. You just probably in the case somewhere, and all people needed to see was that name. I'm talking about it sounds messed up for survivors and victims though. They do need to do something about that. It's just my opinion. For minors and youth first, I'm gonna say that, and the elderly. If something like that happened to one of them, they just need to handle their cases of files different to me. The elderly and children. Uh, yeah. And if it's like people that's attached to them, that's their supporters or whatever, because those are also survivors. See, something don't have to happen to you directly. If you close to a survivor, how is that you not surviving too? That's why when somebody pass or something tragic happened to them, their loved ones and survivors are the ones that's speaking out about how, usually they're the ones that's speaking out first about how they feel and about what happened because they now have to survive what just happened to their loved one. It's always been like this. So you're not just putting their name and their information out there. always harming other people, just messing with that one person with these type of things. Anything that, because if people just sit down and really do research, it ain't even domestic violence awareness month, but they have these. That's what's crazy. It's every October. It started, I believe, in the early 2000s or the 90s, because I did do a podcast topic on this before about the introduction or who created the idea of the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Like, do people go look this stuff up? Who started Breast Cancer Awareness Month? Who started Autism Awareness Month? Right? Just research. And what was the purpose? Okay, so it's every October or whatever. It's just Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Just like there's breast cancer awareness, lupus awareness, different awareness campaign time frames that people observe because they know about their survivors or they know about survivors and they just support these awareness campaigns. Okay, way before MAGA, and I'm not being funny. This is serious, like breast cancer awareness. And they would just seem to spread the spotlight on certain ones. Like right now, it's Black History Month. I'm serious. This February, it's every February, just like domestic violence awareness. That's like we all know that's like abuse. That's like more closer to you, the people closer to you abusing you. That's what domestic violence awareness month is about. Like the people you working with, the people you close to. How is there not still domestic violence? These are people you feel like come on now. It ain't the law that you work. It's just against the law to steal. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's forcing anybody to do anything in America. You actually don't go to jail for not having a job. You go to jail for doing scandalous things if you don't have a job just to get money. Let's be honest. Doing certain criminalistic things but you don't go, you're not finna get a ticket, nothing. Go walk up to an officer and say, hey, I don't have a job. You don't get in trouble for that. These are facts. You get in trouble for what you're doing, like you showing signs that you have a certain level of wealth, but the police are watching you and you have absolutely no job, absolutely no way to. Okay, that's how you get yourself in those type of situations. You'll never be penalized for being out of work for a little while or not having making a certain income range. Like you, that's why the low income exists. They're a real category out here. They're a real living people called the low income. That means their income is not at a level that they would prefer to see it be at this time. But for old people and children, overall, that's what I wanted to say with this topic. We're about 30 minutes into this commentary reaction. But that's okay. I might not stay on here long. That's all I'm trying to say. Old people and younger people should get automatic right. There should be some program in place where if they ask for that, or the parent, the guardian, the survivor, the loved ones, because it's not always parent and guardians, as we know. Because some of them, they start getting looked at too. Y'all know this whole thing, this conspiracy about handlers or whatever. It's like even if we want to ignore it, we can't anymore because they can penalize a whole somebody who had custody of that minor for like, how did this person get your child? Let's talk about it. Like, how did Justin Bieber end up with P. Diddy? It's just an example. How did Usher end up with her? How did some of these youngsters get so close to grown producers, grown rappers, grown word, all these people they deal with, Disney Channel producers, whatever they got going on. Usually, somebody handed, they call it handlers. Somebody handed that person over to that person, like, here, you're now in charge. They booking the shows, they're doing the hotel room, they're helping the young minded with everything just because they got a deal. That's how it goes. It went dead. Okay. So it matters. You can't just hand, even when they end up in the system with like, it just make you wonder with foster cares and different stuff. They'll say, oh yeah, these kids ran away and they ran to wherever they went. Like this recent story of the young man, and condolences and positive thoughts and prayers to that family at this time as well, that went and met a person that they met on Roblox. That story is viral right now too. And it was a minor. But they'll say, yeah, they ran to him. Okay, but uh that doesn't erase the existence of handlers and stuff either. Like where people just straight up, here, yeah, I signed the contract here. Yeah, take the kid, make him famous. Uh take him over here, yeah. Like every guardian and parent is not doing it. Or this is a problem now because you mean to say the kid ran, or you got proof that the kid just went and met a person off Roblox, a gaming app, right? People used to just play with the headsets on. You can play different gamers from all around the world. Like you do live chat, like you can chat with them while y'all gaming or whatever. Uh, it's something like that because I'm not a gamer, but I'm like, why is that not enough for people? You already can type and chat and talk to them through the microphone, and just making this more aware for parents to be aware of. You know, you got to watch your kids on it because people are talking about it anyway. I was gonna share this one story myself, man, but it wasn't like, it was just like talking to your kids about that. Like, you don't know if there's a kid. Anybody can make a kid voice, honestly, on a game and just act like they're a whole little boy or a little girl. So you can like you can maybe type chat or just chat with them. You're not supposed to take that serious. It's like the virtual gaming world. People create avatars and identities on there every day, like uh, usernames and profile. When it comes to the gaming app specifically, we're not just talking about social media. See, that's where the devil can creep in if we're not careful. Like gaming is totally separate from social media. That's a whole nother platform arena of things, but it's still the internet. Period. Gaming, social media is social media. Gaming is a whole nother, just that's all I'm trying to make a point about. What, Pooh? I'm warming up my coffee. Hold on. There's stickers. Let me see. Oh, that is cool. That is getting the tummy. Because the gaming, for people that ain't gamers, they don't know about this. That's what I'm saying. People that technology has advanced where you can actually, it ain't like video chat, but you can like chat the other people you're gaming with through the device. And then they got all these telechats like WhatsApp and all that stuff too. That's not even gaming. Hold on, Poo Poo. Let me open it. Let me open it. Open the other one. Put your bears up there and the chair. But yeah, and I guess they'll talk like children voices and like get that is so weird though. So people have to be aware of it. Like it has been like that for a while, That's why they have those what you call gaming headsets. What do you think that's for? They don't just wear a microphone and headset. They're on there talking to people. But that's why I feel like that kind of technology should maybe only be reserved for maybe 16 and up or 18 and up. After so long, only time would still tell us. But uh, it may need to just say 16 and up on certain gaming systems, or I don't know what they need to do about that. Because they can live chat on even some other games like Xbox and all this. They can get on there and live chat right there on the TV screen with the gaming headset on their ear. But if you have a little kid doing it and they're being convinced to leave their house and come outside and meet up with the person that they're gaming with, so it's not just social media, it's also a lot of these gaming apps like straight up gaming, GAMING. They can chat each other. It's not like video where they see each other face. Unless some of these people, they be talking about that too. But it's people deserve that much. It's already a lot going on with uh people just wanting to catch everything on camera as it is, on clips, on shorts, and just get a little footage when the story blows up. And if they are survivors or victims, why can't they get their names taken out of we didn't say out of the files, but maybe they don't want that kind of stuff shown publicly. We can totally understand that. Here, you will make it TV, but I just wanted to come and give my you know, commentary and reaction. Uh, because as these laws and well, not just laws and things change, because you got a lot of people that still want to redact things like women's rights right now. And that would it's just crazy because, like, then you wonder why a person is using a voice, like, why they're using their whole voice. One, uh, one egg, right? Like, you don't just have to have sex. That's how you know people have a problem with sex. You don't have to use sex anymore to create an embryo, like to fertilize an egg or whatever. But a woman can sell one egg for 8,000, anywhere from 8,000 to $20,000. She can just go to one of those egg banks and sell. Like, women are very valuable, is what I'm saying. Thank you, boo boo. That's just that naturally. It have nothing to do with the makeup she wear, the clothes brand she chooses, how she bathed, how she clean. It don't have nothing to do with it. She was born a natural female with eggs and a uterus. You are valuable. It have nothing to do with the way your eyebrows are shaped, your eyelashes look. Wait a minute. You were born with eggs inside of your uterus, and one egg you can sell for 8,000 to $20,000. They probably don't. I ain't nothing wrong with talking about that. Like, not a surgically changed man into a woman, which we're not mocking how people do whatever they do. But science has not been able to do that yet. Like, give you all of the literal working organs and natural eggs in your body just because you have a sex change to a woman. They cannot do that yet. They can probably give you breasts and other things, but they can't do that yet. So if you're born a natural woman, uh, now of course there's other stipulations, like they don't just let anybody come in there and donate eggs. You know what I'm saying? You have to pass certain tests.
Look, monkey in my book.
The books are behind you.
Look.
The monkey.
It's in
Take it out of his mouth. Take it out of his mouth. Oh. Oh, he ate your book.
I was not playing it. Ah, here.
Oh, he can't eat Legos.
Huh? What is yours?
There's your book.
Hey, I
No, his food is in there. Here, give him a burger. Here, give him some bread.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, anyways, y'all, I forgot what part of this I was on. I'm finna shut it down in a minute anyway, cause I'm finna be on like 3%. What, boo? Take your hand out of there. Get your hand out of the toy. Here. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I just believe, yeah, like people, because if they're minors, they have to live a life in the future, and you don't want some of your, like, it do seem like a lot of it. Like, you want to smear a minor's reputation before they can even turn the age 16, 18. Like, what? More people should be working to uh, lead the minors the right way to begin with. Then you don't have those problems at all. Uh, that's why I feel like they're just gonna end up banning usage for maybe anybody under 16 after so long, or under 18. At least what you had to watch on social media would be more adult. You feel me? But yeah, that is a problem. Voice actors is a whole thing. These people can switch up their voice, switch up the way they look, everything. Like, they can switch up their voice too. That's what's scary. Like, or they do AI voice and make their voice sound like a child. What do you mean? And they talking to your children on social media and gaming apps, like I just described. Those are a thing too. Those gaming apps. Uh, Anything where they can put on a headset and chat with other gamers. Anyways, anybody that jump on that stuff, it's just stupid to me because if they're doing the wrong thing, because we all know every user is linked to some type of account at the end of the day. So this is where people be stupid. Like, let's say it's a person hold they hold in jail, or they hold away in the army where you know they can't even be on social media for a second, and you still see usage on their person page. Like, come on, bro, that's stupid. That would just mean somebody is in that person's account. You feel me? Like, they're using their account. Though that person is in the hospital, though that person, like, you know, that person's not even on social media. Like, or they have another page that show they ain't been on there since May, right? Just sitting there. Like, nobody have access to it, not even that person. So they'd be telling you stuff too. Like, oh, this person ain't used this account right here in 2 years. Because deactivating accounts are a option, but everybody don't they don't always get the opportunity to do it. So yeah, they're sending out ads and stuff now like, oh, Roblox is giving out some of these gaming apps are giving out compensation. Have you been through this or that? So it is a lot more parents like stepping up to, especially since this last story was exposed uh, about a young lady's minor as well meeting up with somebody off of this gaming app. They'll tell their mom, hey, I'm just going outside or I'm going to see a friend. That's why it's dangerous. Hey, I'm just going to the park. Like, you done told the whole person where to meet you and everything. Like, that's crazy. Total complete strangers. It's okay, I said, in my opinion, if y'all just different avatars, accounts, and usernames playing on the internet, a game. But if it get that far where now the gamers control when your child come and go, that's crazy. You don't even know the gamer. You know. So we gotta look out for that type of stuff anyway. But even if they do become victims and survivors, hell yeah, kids and old people, they should get the first dibs on definitely having a say so if they want their private information leaked about what happened to them, not what they did to another, what happened to them. Because who controls that? All you can do is control yourself. How can you control 10,000 other more people' hands and what they do and don't do to you every day? You can try to talk, they'll still do what they want to do. Some people do more. The more you talk, that's the problem. That's the whole reason people agree that they should have their names, not the perpetrators, but the actual survivors and victims. They should get dibs on having their name scratched out or where people can't see all the information and what happened to them, not the freaking predators like, oh, I want my name scratched out so I'm safe. No, that should only be reserved for the victims and survivors. That's crazy. I guess God just showing after so long, money not gonna be able to do everything. Like, oh, I want my name off something. It looked like they used to pay to put their names in places, but now it's just crazy because people seem to be paying to take their names and pictures and photos. You know what I'm saying? Out of places. Who ever knew? All I'm saying that privacy will become the most. That's the value today because of how cameras are. Like people are paying more for privacy. That's why they don't have their bill money. They gotta pay to keep. I wouldn't say like all of it is blackmail situations. It's just the way of the world today. Like it's slowly turning into this. Uh, you're paying a privacy bill too, or are they trying to slowly get us to that where that's a new bill? You know what I'm saying? Your privacy bill. Your privacy bill might be $350 a month. Maybe I should start a company like this because it's getting bad out here. People's like security and bodyguards used to be all we needed, and accountants and everything. That's not enough anymore. Just go ahead and give people a privacy bill. Though we have a privacy act, so I don't know how that would work. I think it's called the Privacy Act of 1974 or 64 to be exact. But now we need a privacy bill. Maybe that's what it takes because people are paying it anyway. If you got to pay for extra security, all this stuff around your home anyway, and people are having to up the levels and all of this stuff and pay extra money, you might as well have a privacy bill. That way you know you're okay and you can just move on. But right now, insurance is more the competitive business. People are just paying for what could happen. That's just crazy. Like, it's just stupid. Like, home insurance, car insurance, all these different insurances, right? But if you, and this is just in case, so you can get paid back in case something happens. Life insurance, in case somebody dies. You're just paying for this every month, but you get the money back in a way with interest or something like that. If something happens, when we should actually be more working progressively towards preventing, it shouldn't just be if and pay insurance. There's not more so if, it's when, because we're all going to have extreme emergencies or accidents a time or two in life. So why not prevent more of those? That's what I'm saying. And count days. Every day there's no accident, you actually are supposed to be tallying those days, marking those on a calendar somewhere, celebrating, throwing a whole party. Yay, I didn't have an accident today. I didn't have an injury today. I didn't break a limb. I wasn't sick. I was probably sick only 5 days out the year. But to just sit there and record those 5 days of somebody's life and call them gravely ill is crazy. For example, they're already trying, some are just trying to debunk those rumors of how Ray J came out and said he only got so long to live recently. The doctor told him I don't know, some are saying that that could probably be untrue. And I already knew that because even a doctor can tell you you have 6 weeks to live and you live 6 months longer. There are stories like this. You live 6 years longer. You live 16 years longer. They tell you you got 1 hour, you're going to die within the next hour. They keep giving this person their antibiotics or whatever. Maybe the person even prays. All they know is this person ends up living longer. Those kind of stories amaze doctors too. They be the first in line to say it's a miracle. They'll tell you when it's a miracle. If they feel like it's a miracle, they will tell you. And the problem is, you shouldn't be trying to. I guess now they're stalking miracles. You can't blame them. A miracle is like that powerful. Stalking miracles. I should write a book called that. Because how is that even possible? Like, you witnessed a miracle, but you can't let it go to where anything you squeeze too tight, though, you can suffocate. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't know about a miracle. A miracle not finna let you hold it down, though. Not for too long. The miracle comes to consume you, consume the atmosphere, consume the environment, consume everything in its path, just like a storm. When a miracle is present, everybody in sight sees it. It's always been this way. But it's like some kind of reverse thing where they're trying to hold the miracle. Like, how is that possible? We want to capture the miracle. Just hold it still, like so it don't move no more. So, like, what? We have to continue to invite miracles. Like, it can be those that say no, no miracles are allowed here. The thing about a miracle, it bursts itself where it wants to. It really doesn't care what you feel about it, and miracles aren't bad. But yeah, some are saying that that was just false news, and which, even if that's false news, that's a crazy rumor to start. But y'all know some of these things are done for promotion, advertisement, get you to buy their music, all that type of stuff too. But I'm like, dang, we going as far as seeing people dying though? Like, oh no, never mind, it's false news. Like, that's crazy. Like, we thought that person, well, they were saying this person, well, that's why you don't get that invested in people business. First of all, you don't even know if you're gonna get invested in the business, you might want to know the facts, the actual receipts, the truth of a situation, even with the celebrities. So you can tell it's just more people talking more than ever, like bloggers and stuff. Like, you can't just jump and say stuff. Like, yeah, they said Ray J only got 1 month to live. Yeah, that's sad. That's actually sad. But and they even gave details like, oh yeah, it's his heart, and his heart is failing. Well, you know they have so much money they can get a heart transplant. So I didn't even invest. I'm not saying his story don't matter, but it's like some people, by the time the doctors tell them how long they live, it's only 3 days. It's a short amount of time where they cannot get a certain procedure done. They've tried every procedure. That's the point. They've tried every medicine. It gets really far when they tell a person there's nothing else we can do. And they give you a time span, like, yeah, you got 1 more year to and then you're gonna die. Like, sometimes it ain't that they be wrong. I think miracles are real. That doctor wasn't lying. That doctor said they don't see how you still living. That doctor ain't lying. So how miracles ain't real? Mm. That doctor said after that last blood check they did, ain't no way you should be breathing without no breathing machine after they checked your lungs. That's when I knew a long time ago, like, miracles are real, bro. Even doctors will tell you this. Just unexplainable phenomenon that happens, that miracles have been real a long time. But if you got a group of people working to block miracles, that's a whole problem. Not because we want it to be. It's showing everybody. Some miracles just waiting to be birthed. Somebody standing in front of it. Like, no, 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 no. You just gonna make the miracle bigger and bigger and bigger, trying to do that, you know? Just like a baby, you can try to force it to stay in there longer. It's just that by the time it comes out, it's gonna be bigger, literally. Cause you made the baby stay in the womb longer. You made her stay in there 10 months, 11 months, 12 months. That baby's gonna come out bigger, bro. That's just how that works. But I believe these people should have a right to their privacy, to their identities. They're not trying to hide the stories. Yeah, victim A said this, victim B said this, victim however it go. But they don't. I think what they're just trying to say, they do not want their names in those open files out there like that. 3 million, 3 million files. Is that how many? I said 3,000. I think they said 3 million files had just been released. 3 million new ones like that the public hadn't seen or whatever. They hadn't been available to the public. So those things people always stay quiet about. Then if things are secretly in secret happening to the victims, don't nobody wanna but people were happy to just yeah, we want the foul. Why do you think? So you think they wanted the fouls to come after the perpetrators? No, they want to come after who they feel like got them caught. Let's be honest. Got them uh who told who okay, you can even show these people pictures and videos. They'll still say it's your fault. Like, no, we have pictures and videos. Like, it's nobody's fault. We have pictures and videos of you. You see what I'm saying? Of you doing this to that person, or of this person doing this to you. At that point, we don't need nobody to talk no more. That's why they wanted the pictures and videos released. Now I do commend them. It looks like they're blocking faces at least, but not of the perpetrators. Some of these guys that were just standing around young women and stuff. It's crazy. Not even doing nothing to them, but they showing you. They standing in pictures with them closely, like hugging, standing next to each other with young girls, taking pictures. That's what we're seeing so far as some of that stuff that's been, and they have some of these young ladies' faces whole blotted out, like screened out. You know what I'm saying? But it still kind of shows them, and you can tell they're young. It's just crazy. They like, okay, but you not erased, but they don't want their names and stuff showing. They might be grown women now, but they were kids when that happened, so they don't want that showing and stuff. I feel like what's the big idea? We should all understand that. All these people that say they understand they want justice for these victims, blah blah blah. Well, that part they might not want to walk around. Not all of them are going to want to do that. People have to accept that. But there have always usually been people that are willing participants to share their stories. They just want to control who those willing participants are. That's what it seems like it's going on. You see, of course, maybe nobody would want survivors sharing their stories, but it does seem like they are only working towards, trying to stop certain people's stories. When at the beginning of time, it's always been whether a person is willing, it's always been a choice, usually, a person willing to share their story. Do people catch my drift? They're willing or they're not when they're survivors and victims. We're not talking about the perpetrators who claim to be lied on or claim to be framed or claim to be. We're not talking about that. We're talking about like people they have pictures and videos was being hurt or hurt a certain way, uh, maybe against their will. And they be like, oh, they were willing. Well, when they're minors, you don't get to say that. You don't get to say that they were willing. They keep trying to preach that. But no, you don't get to say that. It's so awful. Thank you guys for tuning in to another live segment. We'll be back with more. We come back with these insightful and relatable topics and quotes weekly. So please remember to hit that subscribe bell. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our content any day of the week. This is one small way you are able to show your support. And until next time, hi, baby.
Look at my house. Look at my house.
How did you build that?